What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, the podcast where we talk about movies and comics and everything in between. My name is Darren, aka DJ, and I am joined by my brother and sister. My sister, Devora.
Hello.
And my brother,
What's
Derek.
good, everybody?
What is up? And this week, we are going to be discussing what we think, what stories the Marvel Cinematic Universe should adapt for not just Phase 4, but just in the future. So now that Endgame is done with, let's see where the Marvel Cinematic Universe should go. But of course, before we get into our main topic, we talk about the news.
Why is that funny?
What was funny about that?
Because it was like you hesitated. Like you wasn't too sure if you wanted to go into the news.
I just wasn't too sure about what I wanted to say. Listen, guys, and if it sounds better, hopefully it does. Me and Devora got a new sound system, so we have some new mics. So hopefully that sounds great, and a nice mixer is really legit. We're like real legit right now, right?
We are moving up in the world.
Yeah.
So, thanks for all your support. Keep doing that, and we will keep funding this podcast.
Yeah, that would be great.
It's all because of you fans that is listening right now. All because of you guys.
Yes, 100% you guys, 50% me and Deborah, and 5% Derek.
I just want to apologize ahead of time if my voice cracks or, goes in and out while I'm talking because I'm dealing with this cold.
Yeah, Derek's currently going through puberty, so... Again, I didn't know we went through that twice, but first thing on the news, John Wick. This came out the past weekend, and it was, of course, number one for the weekend. So it did beat out Avengers Endgame. Not too surprising that it went number one, though. Like I think we mentioned it last week. We expected it to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So worldwide, it made $92 million.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, for John Wick, that is really good.
Yeah.
I think its opening weekend was domestically $30 million last year.
Yeah, I read that. Yeah.
Or last movie.
Yeah. What was Endgame's numbers, if you had those?
I didn't see the exact numbers this weekend. I know it's currently $170 million away from Avatar.
So we got half of what it needed this week, then.
Yeah. Only problem is, while I'm starting to doubt whether it can beat Avatar, because $170 million is like it's not a lot, but we're going into the fourth week. Aladdin's coming out, and then after that, Godzilla's coming out. So you have Aladdin, John Wick, and Godzilla in the theater all at the same time.
Is a lot of people really lining up to see Godzilla, though?
I think so.
I think people are going to go see it.
I think it's going to have. I think it's going to have a real good opening week, and then it's going to drop down.
Yeah. Either way, it may make it difficult for
it to get another $150 million.
Yeah. It depends on how long it stays in the theater, too. So,
well, it's going to be longer than 4 weeks.
Well, yeah. So it may get there.
And you can order your on the copy of the digital of Avenger Endgame.
I know.
Yeah,
I was very tempted to do that.
I was tempted. But it was only SD, though.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I didn't do it, because I'm like, I want the set with the extras and all of that, so I'm going to wait until... I I want all the extras because I almost bought it. I was so tempted. I was like, "Oh yes, I want this," but
that's how they get you.
That is how they get you. Avengers Endgame may have another resurgence once Spider-Man, like a few weeks before Spider-Man. Far From Home
like how
comes out.
Captain Marvel did with with the week before Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that might be something that these Marvel movies now have going for them. You kind of get a second wind when the next movie starts.
True.
So that could be good. We might see that. If that happens, then it probably will beat Avatar.
I feel like it still can. I mean, we're talking Innie's $130 million.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's not undoable or not doable. or somewhere, and I'm thinking
you feel like it is doable.
It is. Thank you. Yes. Yes, that is proper English.
All right.
I feel like it's definitely doable.
Okay. It is. It's still in the realm. I think people are. It's kind of becoming questionable now. Like, not that they can't do it. It's just not as for sure as it was before. All right. Next bit of news. Mortal Kombat is having a reboot movie, and it's set to come out in 2021.
Really?
Yeah.
Do we know who's going to be in this?
I didn't look because I didn't really care.
Yeah, sure.
It's kind of like, do we need another Mortal Kombat?
Did we need it the first time?
No, we didn't. But you know what? They did come out. I think it was Mortal Kombat 11 came out.
Yeah, the
recently.
game.
Oh, the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's popular again?
Yeah. I generally don't play those games, so I personally don't know of its popularity, but I feel like people were probably big on that. So that might be why you're getting this coming back to the theaters. I don't know if it has a following. This is a video game movie that I'm just like, can you make this good?
I mean, no. I mean, think about what the video game is. You're just fighting people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, and I guess their popularity or what they're trying to draw is like, let's see on how graphic we can actually get with this. And I feel like the new game is like ridiculously graphic, because it's like on my news feed I get video game, updates or whatever. I didn't even get past maybe the first 30 seconds of Mortal Kombat. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, who would allow a child to play this?
Well, it's rated mature.
Well, yeah. So I think the movie is going to be like, that. I think it's going to be like rated R, and it's going to be extremely gory for no reason.
That's possible.
Okay.
I do doubt they'll make this PG-13. This is not a...
I don't know how they could.
I think one of them was PG-13, or both of them were.
Well, that was back in the 90s.
Yeah, back in the day when they cared whether or not kids were going to watch this movie.
Well, you got to remember, even back then on the Nintendo, Mortal Kombat was censored. Like, it didn't have as much of the violence or gore that the one on Sega did.
Right.
So, like, that was still a concern back then. Now, for the game, it's a mature game because older people play video games where they didn't as much back then. So that's kind of why they're going. Probably why they're going this route. And the movie, like you said, it's not going to be PG-13. That's not even your audience. I think
No, I don't even know how you can make it PG-13.
Yeah, so that wouldn't work. Speaking of gory movies, Saw is getting a reboot as well.
Yeah, Chris Rock.
Why?
I believe he wrote because Chris Rock wrote a story for it. And I forgot the two guys' name that is adapting it into a movie. But apparently they said it's really good and really scary, and it's coming out. Okay. If I can unlock my thing, I'll tell you when it's coming out. In October 2020.
So next year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. You said the scary one part, like, talking to people who have seen the movies, because I haven't seen any of the Saw movies, as you guys know, and the fans probably know by now, I don't do horror. But talking to people that've seen the movie, I heard that it wasn't scary at all. It was basically just super gory.
Oh, is it? I thought it was like a intense thing, like
maybe.
I don't think I've ever seen a Saw movie. No, I haven't. Yeah.
What I don't get, because it seems, barring some horror movies, it's like really scary. I hear like Us and Get Out was really like about thrills rather than other things. Mm-hmm. But I felt like horror movies hit this point where it just had to be graphic.
Right.
Like, if it wasn't graphic, it wasn't a horror movie, which to me, that's not synonymous.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
I like more suspense and like a horror movie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even think this qualifies as a horror movie, but I was thinking like A Quiet Place.
Mm-hmm. It's a horror movie,
and I feel like that's more of a suspense where it's just like you're like, what's about to happen? Kind of feel. And I feel like I want more out of that than just I don't need to see someone.
Yeah. Or like When a Stranger Calls, Disturbia, movies like that. Like you have that suspense. When that's what, scares you or, get you out your seat. Yeah, and it's like, well, we ain't got to see someone get their head chopped off or their arm ripped off and stuff like that. It's just like, I don't feel that is necessary for it to have to be a scary movie.
Yeah, and I think like eventually the culture it might be going back now because we've had a few movies come out that's
more back to that classic
thriller type of thing. But for a while I feel like the culture kind of shifted to like it just has to be gory.
We were getting so much of it too.
We were.
It was a lot. So but this may be different, so those Saw fans, let us know what you think about the reboot, and if it's something that's worth it. If Chris Rock made a good story for it, maybe it's good. Pokemon. Let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum. So off the back end of Detective Pikachu, they've announced what they plan to do in the future. So they said the next movie to come out will be Detective Pikachu 2.
Creative, yes.
Yeah, my question is, now I know you two didn't see it, but the movie kind of definitively ended. Like, I could see you making spin-offs from it, but how are we having a sequel?
Okay, so spoiler for those who haven't seen it. Mm-hmm. The dad was the Pikachu.
Yes.
Is he still Pikachu?
No, that's my thing.
So
the video game ends with the Pikachu. I don't know if they say that that's the Pikachu in the video game. They don't tell you, but it's still Pikachu. In the movie, it clearly says that that's the Pikachu, and they kind of fix the issue where now you have the dad and Pikachu.
Maybe it's just called that to get people in the seats. You know what I mean? If you call it something else, maybe people won't be interested in seeing it.
I guess so, but if it's Detective Pikachu, you kind of need Detective Pikachu.
Yeah. I'm just trying to give them something.
Yeah, so I don't know how they're going to go about that. Maybe they'll have a story idea. But I read something that said they got the writer from Sonic the Hedgehog, and I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Speaking of Sonic the Hedgehog, I didn't see Tails in the preview. It's not going to be Tails?
That's...
Tails is not going to be... He's going to be an end credit scene.
They're saving it for the sequel.
I'm going to put sequel in quotations because I don't think it's getting one.
Well, I bet their plan was to save
it for the sequel. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Like, okay, Detective Pikachu was our first video game movie that was decent.
We're going to get bombarded with it now.
Yeah, like we got bombarded with toy movies.
Yeah, but there was only one good one. So, yeah, I feel like it's going to be a resurgence of video game movies.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're also going to be working on a red and blue Pokemon movie.
I don't really remember the story from Red and Blue. I know you travel up to a bunch of worlds and you fight a guy in a cave.
Well, basically, you're fighting the mob. So, if they focus on that aspect of the story, I think they can make a good movie.
Okay.
Taking down Team Rocket, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we were doing?
Yeah, that's in Red and Blue. You're taking down Team Rocket. I mean, besides the main story of collecting badges.
That's all I was doing.
Yeah.
I was just collecting Pokemon.
Well, it's part of the game. You still have to take down Team Rocket.
But I guess my point is I didn't remember what the story was.
Oh, yeah.
It was just my whole goal was just to go through there and collect Pokemon, and then I fought them you know what I mean? Like the actual storyline, I have no clue.
Yeah. Only thing is Mewtwo is the kind of main. What do you think? The thing that they focus on in that game as well. So it'll be kind of a repeat because you got Mewtwo in the first movie.
But that's easy enough to change, isn't it?
Maybe, yeah.
Or it could be like Jurassic Park. The T-Rex is always the villain.
Oh, right. Well, now the T-Rex is the hero.
Okay, yes, because the Indominus Rex or whatever trash they came up with.
I wonder what this next movie is going to be like.
I thought the Indominus Rex was in the third one.
You're right. That was the chameleon one, right?
No, that was in Jurassic World.
No, the chameleon one was in Jurassic World.
That's the Indominus
That's the Indominus Rex.
Oh, okay. It was
and
what
then
was
you
in
had
the fourth one?
Indoraptor was the next one. Yeah.
The third one. The third one was a hybrid dinosaur too, because he was taller than the T-Rex.
No, that was just like a Spinosaurus or something.
The third one. Yeah, that was not
a normal dinosaur.
Yeah, that wasn't a hybrid. They weren't experimenting with dinosaurs then.
Oh, okay. I thought it was something like they evolved or something crazy. But okay.
Did you watch the movie?
Yes, I did. But we all know that Jurassic 3 wasn't
that
good.
Nokia ringtone.
Right, that's all I remember. And them digging in the boo-boo to find it.
You have to find the phone.
Oh man, people hate that movie.
It is horrible.
It is bad, but I remember as a kid I liked it.
It's entertaining. When it's on Netflix, I watch it.
Yeah. Now, Fallen Kingdom.
Oh,
that wasn't. It could have been good, but they did too much
homage to the first movie.
Too many callbacks. Yeah.
Which I was gonna mention that I hated all the callbacks they did in Fallen Kingdom, but it's like how in Endgame there was a lot of callbacks, but I loved it.
It wasn't done right.
And I was going to say there's a difference between callback and doing it the right way.
Yeah, basically, instead of a callback in Fallen Kingdom, they just redid it.
They redid a lot of scenes.
Yeah. Especially, first of all, Fallen Kingdom was basically the Lost World, the whole plot. You started on the island, you ended up on land, and now the dinosaurs are out. Fine. Yeah. That is the Lost World. Congratulations, guys. You did the same story. And then you took a bunch of scenes, like, I'm not even going to say, like, plot points or whatever. You just took scenes from the first movie and threw it in.
Yeah. And then their logic, like, I don't know, I'm going to anger pet people or something. But, like, we can't kill them. No, you can kill them.
They should have. Well, at first, I thought they were going to go that route.
We lost our PETA fans.
Well, I mean, but it's ridiculous.
Okay.
Right? I mean, they're man-eating dinosaurs. And the little girl's like, but I'm created too. But you're a person.
Yeah, well, that's like, okay, let's put it in real life. There's a bunch of tigers trapped in here, and it's like, and let's just say we don't have any other options. We have two options: to leave them where they are, or to let them loose on the suburb that we live in. What are we gonna do? We're gonna let some tigers loose? Right. That's a bad idea.
It's just such a bad idea.
Yeah. So no. So hopefully.
So this giant tangent we went on.
Hopefully, Detective Pikachu doesn't end up like these.
Oh, that's what we're talking about?
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about at first. Yeah. Somehow we got on Jurassic World. But next bit of news, Robert Pattinson, for those of you who don't know, is the guy who played in Twilight?
Twilight, yes.
Yeah. He is the front runner to be Batman in the Batman movie. Yeah, that's...
I don't know how I feel about that, but I will say I feel like I said that for all the other Batman people. Mm-hmm. And so maybe if it's a really good movie, I can ignore the fact that Robert Pattinson is playing.
Right, because we excuse Christian Bale because it was a good movie.
Yeah.
True.
But I mean, he didn't have much to go against, though, outside of Michael Keaton. I mean...
That's true.
Val Kilmer and George Clooney. That was a huge. That was a huge drop off.
Yeah. And were you going to mention the rumored villains?
Who the villain's going to be?
It's rumored to be Penguin and Catwoman. Which
Batman
reminder?
Returns?
Yes, it was done in Batman Returns. So hopefully that's not true.
Okay. Well, the story, from what I heard, is supposed to be in Arkham, and he has to escape from Arkham, kind of like
Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
Well, that's different.
I thought what was dumb about one of the complaints I saw about him was saying that, he's too skinny. And I'm just like, he had to be skinny for the Twilight movie? That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be skinny playing Batman.
Well, obviously he's going to gain weight.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what's-his-face playing Bane, right?
Right.
Like, that dude got huge.
I mean, look how big Ben Affleck got.
That's true.
Ben Affleck got huge.
Yeah. So, we shouldn't really look at size as much. I'm unsure about Robert Pattinson. Apparently the fans aren't either, because they have a petition to not have him play Batman.
Well, that's not going to work, because there was a petition for Ben Affleck not to play Batman, and he still played it.
Petitions never work.
No, it makes no sense.
Unless you want to get some movie old show to make a movie.
Right.
Or whatever.
Yeah, no. I mean, the producers are going to pick whoever they want to pick. He doesn't really seem to fit, but I give it a chance, I guess. Of course I will.
Apparently, Nicholas Hoult and Aaron Taylor Johnson are also in the running.
Aaron Taylor. Is that the guy who played...
He's Quicksilver, isn't he?
That died?
Yeah.
Oh, no on that.
I can see that.
Yeah, I'm going to say no on that. Well, I don't know. If you see him when he was in the Godzilla movie...
He was in Godzilla?
Yeah. Funny enough, him and Elizabeth Olsen were both in Godzilla as a married couple. And then
he was the main character?
Yeah.
Oh, if he's that forgettable, he don't need to be Batman.
Well, I mean, I go back to what you said, though. Like, if it's a well-written movie, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal of us talking about, man, this dude was a horrible Batman. It's just got to be well-written and well-acted.
Yeah, but I mean, you can have a bad Batman that ruins it all.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
I mean, it's like George Lazenby.
We haven't had that
James
many
Bond.
good Batman, so I mean, actors that
bring back Adam West.
I mean, yeah, Adam.
I don't think they have any good actors in the running. I mean, not that these aren't good actors. I mean, for Batman, because Nicholas Hoult, that's Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no,
yeah.
I don't like that either.
And I'm like, he's a fine actor, but I don't see him as Batman.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then he's got a weak chin. I'm sorry, like you gotta, dude.
You need like a square face.
Like you do need to have a strong jawline and play Batman.
I think you need like Tom Brady's bottom half of the face without the dimple chin. That's what you need.
Right. Like nah, man.
Get Tom Brady to play Batman.
No.
They wanted someone young. He said.
Yeah, you need a young person for this.
Yeah. He wanted someone young. I know he wanted it to be a trilogy, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this supposed to take place in the universe or no?
Batman doesn't really have a universe. Oh, you mean in the D?
With Wonder Woman and Aquaman.
I didn't hear anything about that.
Their movies are confusing.
I'm going to say there is no DC universe.
Yeah, let's just go with that. There is no universe. I don't know what they're doing.
But there kind of is.
Is it?
They keep
because Aquaman still takes place in it.
They keep changing actors, stories. I don't know.
I'm putting it like this: either do one or don't do one. I'll be satisfied either way. If you don't do one, fine. Then I don't have to think, is this a part of this story or not? And if you do one, then just do it well. I don't understand why I have such a hard time. But anyway. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully one of these guys, since it's going to be one of these guys, I mean, as much as we may petition not to get them.
I mean, I don't mind the dude from Twilight, though. Like, if those three are in the running and it's just those three, out of those three, I would say I would go with him.
If those are our only options?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they're our only options.
Then, yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah, I can't see Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, I can't. Those other two I cannot see at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say he's the best out of those three.
Yeah. Okay.
Hopefully it's a good movie. I don't know. I mean, they got some good people working on it, so.
I mean, I'm sure it will be. First of all, you can only go up from here, right? So
yeah, it's not going to be Justice League. So
yeah, but after The Dark Knight Rises, it could go down from here.
But I feel like there's been such a long enough gap between The Dark Knight Rises and this new one. Yeah. They're not in competition with each other.
No, and no one's paying attention to Ben Affleck Batman. So
right.
We can just leave it.
Okay.
So it'll be fine. Last bit of news: Dark Phoenix. Some of the tracking for its sales have come out, and it's tracking pretty low at a $50 million opening weekend.
Oh.
Which I know people may say, oh, $50 million for John Wick was good and not for Dark Phoenix. Well, no, because the budget for Dark Phoenix is much higher.
Right.
So this movie has to make more. And when you talk about characters like this,
right,
you want it to make
and
more.
they're not expecting John Wick to be a blockbuster movie either.
Well, in context, you know what I mean? It's like, we're talking about a superhero movie. Marvel movies can't open with $50 million.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Movies like Think Like a Man, $50 million, awesome.
Right. Yeah. Well, because when you take like $30 million to make your movie, then that's good. But yeah, Dark Phoenix gets hundreds of millions to make a movie like that, so it's got to open strong. Mm-hmm. I think there's a few reasons why you have this. One, because you redid the Dark Phoenix storyline after you did a movie on it already. So probably shouldn't have done it twice.
True. Yeah.
Maybe. That might be a
thing.
Like, don't do the same movie twice. Two, doesn't look that great.
No, it does not. I feel like people just don't... There's not that connection there between the audience and the characters in these movies.
Yeah.
And I feel like, especially after the Age of Apocalypse was just hot trash.
Yeah.
It's just like, we're just kind of like, whatever, just go away so Marvel can do it right.
Yeah, and actually, even before the Fox merger, I feel like...
You can't relate to any of the characters, or like you don't...
Yeah, I feel like I just end up, to me, I feel like none of the people actually, outside of Michael Fassbender and McAvoy.
James McAvoy.
Yes, I wanted to say John, and I knew that wasn't right.
Same.
Yeah.
Besides those two, I feel like no one else fits their character well.
I agree.
And I'm just looking at them, I just like, I don't see Jean Grey. I don't see Mystique. And it's just...
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence is not a good pick for Mystique. And I know, like, it wasn't... Like, people may look at it differently, but she didn't have the star power when they cast her as Mystique. She was just cast.
Yeah.
And... I feel like they kept focusing, because of the star power she gained, they started focusing on Mystique in the storyline, which is a weird way to go. Like, she became the hero of this universe, and...
But I feel like, I think the problem is that no one believes it because Mystique isn't a hero in the comic
she's
book.
more of like a anti-hero, if you...
She's a villain.
She's a straight-up villain.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, and I know they wanted to do something different, but I think one of my problems with this is that they changed too much of the characters. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I know you don't always have to be, true to the comic or whatever, but I think you have to be true to the nature of the comic to me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, watching First Class, which was a good movie, I'm just saying to myself, like, Mystique didn't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a villain all the way, and it's just... From that point on, it just kind of, distances me from these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because, she was billed as the villain in First Class, actually, by the end of it. It just gave a reason for her change.
And then she went back to being a hero for some reason.
Which was, I don't know why they went that route. And I agree.
Well, with the X-Men storyline, though, and this is what I meant by her, like, being an anti-hero, is just that she has the same views of like Magneto, but not as extreme. It's like she started out being just as extreme, but then it was like as the years got on, it wasn't as extreme. So she's like in the middle. It's like you got Professor X on one end, Magneto on the other end, and Mystique is in the middle. And I feel like that's what they were trying to go with in the movies. And then, but also with Jennifer Lawrence gaining that star power of focusing more on her and like her relationship with both.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Devora said, the only people that I think were good in this franchise was James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just feel like the other ones, they just didn't really fit.
It doesn't click.
No.
Yeah, I mean, and then we didn't even keep some of the other heroes. Like we had Havoc, and we kept no people from the First Class movie. I don't understand why.
Which was weird since you were building this thing, and then they decided to focus on Mystique. And
I mean, Nicholas Hoult is fine as Beast.
He's fine. I mean, yeah, I don't mind him. Although I will say, I think I really wanted
Kelsey
to say
Grammer.
Yes, I really wanted to say Frasier.
Frasier. Well, it's not wrong.
I felt like I liked his Beast. I mean, and that's not even to say that the first movies, all the casting was correct, because I think Halle Berry was greatly miscast.
Yeah, I like who's cast as Storm right now.
I don't.
I think she's better than Halle Berry.
And I know they wanted to go with a younger cast, but I don't know. I don't know if they're too baby-faced or whatever. I don't know.
I don't know. They didn't really use her in the Apocalypse movie, though, so it's kind of hard to tell with that. Because she came up and then she was made a horseman, so you didn't really get a lot. How many times are they going to do Angel?
I don't know.
Because he's one of the original X-Men.
But
we didn't do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Anyhow,
go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that the reason why Dark Phoenix isn't tracking well, besides the fact of them doing a movie twice, is these movies, while they've had some good ones throughout it, you have X-Men 1, X-Men 2, X-Men First Class, people like Days of Future Past, but then you got other movies, Wolverine Origins.
Right.
The Wolverine. Not so great.
Yeah, no, they weren't good.
So it's kind of, and then when they're,
because it started out good, and then it progressively kept going downhill.
Yeah, so like the movies are going downhill, kind of.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
So the excitement for this movie, and with the prospect of us getting a Marvel X-Men movie soon, people aren't excited for it.
Well, I also think after how bad even if Marvel didn't buy Fox, I feel like it'll still be the same. I think after Age of Apocalypse, after we're like, this is the movie you already did 15 years ago, honestly, I feel like it would be the same regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Apocalypse didn't create any hype for this.
Oh, it didn't.
No, definitely not. It was so bad.
And then you're doing this kind of early. You introduced her in the last movie, right? And then all of a sudden she's Phoenix. Like, I don't... And it goes...
Because at least
like
we felt her character in the original X-Men movies. Like, we knew who she was. We knew she was established in the films.
Yeah. And now we don't know anything about this character. We don't care about this character. You know, reason why you mentioned Endgame earlier, a lot of those things hit because we care about these characters. We know it, all the stuff they threw in Endgame. We knew what it meant to the characters in the movie.
Right.
What is this? John Wick, let's put it that way. Like, people understand that character and they know what it is. But so by the third movie, why it's gaining so much traction is because of what it built up.
Yeah.
This has built up nothing.
They haven't. Even from First Class to Days of Future, I feel like there hasn't been any real good build-up.
No.
You know it's all in the same universe because they're using the same people.
Right.
But I feel like it hasn't really been a good, legit build-up to, what's this, the fourth movie now?
Yeah.
I think I agree with what we were saying, like with Jennifer Lawrence, like focusing in on like certain actors. Because I felt that way, like when it was Hugh Jackman, and
they did do that.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh well, this movie is only gonna make money, or we need this movie to make money, so we need him to be in the movie.
Yeah, all the movies revolved around Wolverine.
Yeah. Right.
And it only worked because Hugh Jackman was such a good Wolverine.
Right. But the thing is, we didn't need that because, like, and I hate going back to Marvel movies, but it's like Spider-Man worked. Like, the average person, I feel like, wouldn't really know who Tom Holland was.
Right. Yeah.
But it was fine. I'm going to go see the Spider-Man movie. You know, it's like none of the movies didn't always, yes, RDJ was in a lot of the movies. Mm-hmm. But it didn't have to focus on him. They didn't need him to be in all of these movies.
Yeah, and not always. Like, they did focus on Iron Man a lot, but it wasn't always Iron Man's movie.
Right.
Like, you go Civil War for one. It was clearly, people may argue against it, but to me, it was clearly Captain America's movie.
Well, it was about Captain America and his relationship with Bucky and how he stands on what morals, on what is right.
Yeah.
And I just feel like we had so many movies where it's just like we didn't need Scarlett Johansson in every movie for this movie to be good. Yeah. You know, we didn't need, perfect example, Black Panther.
Mm-hmm. Nobody was in that
No one else was in Black Panther.
Right.
We didn't need it.
No.
Right.
No. Or Doctor Strange.
Yes.
You
know? Same with Doctor Strange. Nobody was in that movie.
Yeah. We don't need the movie to focus on Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Just give me a good movie. I don't care whose the focus is.
Yeah. So it's that was kind of a bad look for them to do that and for every movie to have that type of focus. But they've always had that. And it's funny because Kevin Feige worked on the first 2 X-Men movies before he started Marvel Studios.
You can tell.
And right. And it was an interview and they asked him what he learned. And one of the things was to cast actors that fit in the role, regardless of their star power. Yes. So you learn that from doing the X-Men movies. And it's clear with that, like you mentioned, Tom Holland. No one knows who Tom Holland is before Spider-Man, let's be real. See, even some of the other actors in this. Anthony Mackie. Now, he's been in stuff. And
but he wasn't a star.
So it's that type of... Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
I mean, her sister's got some star power, and she's been in stuff, but I didn't know they had a little sister before this, you know?
Yeah, I can't believe they related. That is crazy.
Well, I mean, people have multiple children.
I mean, yeah.
They're not always like everyone into acting, though. So that's a big deal. So you can tell that they learned those type of lessons, and you know the other X-Men movies they kind of just stuck with that. Mm-hmm. Didn't work. So I think the tracking is going to be right on this movie, and it's going to open pretty weakly, and I don't think it's going to do very well.
Mm-hmm. No,
to be honest, depending on what it's going up against, but it's opening in the summer, so
yeah,
you might have a hard time. Toy Story,
that's in July, right?
Yeah. Spider-Man's in July too. You have a hard time against those movies. Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, that being said,
I did want to bring out. I don't know if you guys. Disney released a clip of Aladdin showing the Prince Ali song. I know I didn't really like the song in the cartoon, but the clip of this is, and I hope every song isn't like this. It felt very flat. It was like very boring because one, Will Smith cannot sing.
No, he can't.
And he doesn't even have good range or pitch or any of those other sound things you need when you sing.
Well, they couldn't get
Robin
somebody
Williams
else to sing
didn't either.
But when Robin Williams did "Never Had a Friend Like Me" and Prince Ali, no, he couldn't sing, but it was his tone of voice kind of carries the song. Yeah. This does not happen in this. Like, I mean, when y'all get a chance, check out the clip. I felt like it was very boring.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's not the word I expected you to use.
Yes, it was very dull, very flat, and boring. So, and this movie come out next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see it this Saturday, and see.
I'm gonna go Thursday after work, so I would never have to rush into this again.
The Aladdin's coming out this weekend. That's right. So, I don't know how I feel about it.
I feel like if the movie is anything like that song, it's just going to be us.
How are we going to judge the movie? I mean, the movie by the song.
There's a lot of songs in this movie.
I was saying there's a lot of songs, and if it's anything like that, the movie's just gonna be just such a bear to get through.
Oh man, and in the trailer, I didn't really like. What's it called? Show You the World, whatever.
World. Yes,
A whole new world. Yeah,
I didn't like it either.
I didn't like that either.
I feel like the girl can sing, but the guy can't.
Probably.
Yeah.
How come they can't do, like, didn't they used to do other actors singing, like, in the cartoon movie?
Right.
That's what they did in Lion King.
Yeah, there was other people singing.
Jonathan Taylor was not singing the song Simba was singing.
Right, it was Weaver. I forget his first name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marcus?
Yeah, the dude from Smart Guy, the older brother.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know that one.
Yes.
Yeah, we showing our age.
So, like...
Yeah, no one knows who Smart Guy is.
No, probably not. But yes, that was who was singing that song. So they could have and should have did something like that.
Should have. I'm going to say that. But maybe that's something they don't do these days. I don't know if that's something they do.
Okay, well.
Because, you know, Les Mis, you had to know how to sing to be in that, and I don't think everybody knew how to sing.
Well, then you don't be in Les Mis.
Right.
So I just feel like, you know, casting for Genie, hey, let's get a guy who can also sing.
True. I do wonder, I don't know, what was the reason behind casting Will Smith as Genie? I like Will Smith, but I think
they wanted a name. Because if you don't have Will Smith, who else is in this?
Yeah, but you don't need a name. It's Disney's Aladdin.
We just had a whole discussion where people feel like they need a name.
Yeah, because they put some name people in Dumbo.
I wholeheartedly feel that you don't need a name.
No, you don't.
I never go see a movie simply because Hugh Jackman is in it, or simply because Ryan Reynolds is in it.
I do see a movie because Denzel Washington is in it.
Okay, I mean, names do have some pull, but it's usually not the make or break. Like, if the movie looks good, I'm going to watch it regardless of who's in it.
Yeah.
Now, if it's something I never heard of and you tell me, like, oh, it's got Denzel Washington in it, or like we heard of this Cherry movie that's coming up, that's the Russo brothers and Tom Holland, or 21 Bridges, that's the Russo brothers and Chadwick Boseman, my interest was piqued to look at to see what the movie is like, just because I know how they were in the Marvel movies. But even if I didn't know that and you came out with a trailer for Cherry and it looks good, then I'm going to go see it anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not necessary. Like, it could help. It can help. I can see where it helps. But it's not exactly necessary, especially for something like Disney's Aladdin. Like, it's Aladdin. People are going to go see it because it's Aladdin.
Kind of true. I mean, it's like, know your movie. Like, it's a Disney movie. Like, you slap Disney on it, people are going to go.
Yeah. I mean, in all of these remakes, regardless, except for Dumbo, Dumbo wasn't popular in the past. I don't know why they thought it was going to make money this time. But even now, like, you got Cruella coming out and stuff. People are probably going to see that because what last live action 101 Dalmatians was in the 90s. Mm-hmm. So people might see it. They're coming out with another Maleficent. Apparently, they really like that. Don't know why, but apparently people really liked it. And then you got Mulan coming out. Like, people are going to go see these movies, especially when you have people my age who have children. But these were the cartoon movies that I had when I was a kid. Kid. So I'm going to go take my kid to go see it
because you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, the name of the movie was all the pull they needed.
Yeah.
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 But we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. Maybe it'll be interesting. Or maybe not. All right, guys. So, our main topic for the evening. What stories or comic book adaptations should the MCU do in the upcoming phases? So let's start with Devora. What did you come up with?
So, not one who reads comic books. Mm-hmm. I honestly don't know. I do know I liked when the Avengers Earth Mightiest Hero cartoon was out.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
And they had like the Secret Invasion storyline in there. Mm-hmm. So I really liked that because I like the reveal, like, oh, Captain America was a Skrull.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's too similar to the Winter Soldier because Hydra was secretly infiltrating people.
I think they could still do it. Secret Invasion. Yeah. I mean, obviously they're gonna have to change it a lot, but that's fine.
Yeah, so I felt like if it's the end of Phase 4, reveal, hey, some of these people with scrolls, and then like that be Phase 5 or something.
That would be really good though. Yeah. I think that would be a good storyline to do. Secret Invasion. We already introduced the Skrull. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, but they're good guys now," and I'm like, "No, the one group of Skrull,
right,
were good. Doesn't mean that the rest of them are."
Yeah.
And now they have access to Super Skrull.
Yeah.
Right. So I just kind of thought like if they did that, just kind of like a slower, kind of like how Thanos was like always in the background. So while you watch movies, it's always in the background of is this guy really who we think he is or something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. How would they go about this? Like, do you reveal one person as being a Skrull, like at the end credit scenes of one of our movies? You know, and just have them talking to a secretive person, or just have them talking to a secret person, period, and make people speculate that they might be a Skrull.
Yeah, I feel like you can do something like that. Reveal that one is, and so now every movie afterwards, you're like questioning, one, what happened to one dude, and then like who else, or is there anyone else? And so like the audience don't know who to trust.
Yeah,
the only thing is I don't know how does it end.
I don't know.
Like I don't know how it ended in a comic book.
I don't know. I guess that would be something we have to read.
They found all the people the Skrull took control of.
Yeah, so I guess that's like the biggest question is how do you end that? But I think it could be really interesting.
Yeah, that could really work as they're building a new kind of hero team. Because right now they're rebuilding the Avengers, so it's going to be a lot of new people. Mm-hmm. So you can have someone come in and they were a Skrull the whole time. We never knew it.
Captain Marvel.
I don't think it's going to be Captain Marvel. It can't be with the power that she has.
The power she has, right? They only
because they don't have powers, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Unless you were Super Skrull, but then you are given certain people's power.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, now they can change.
They can change it up. I mean, but I do like the Secret Invasion Skrull because then that would make sense in introducing like that in a Captain Marvel movie. It was like whatever is going on with what she's doing, and they're probably going to introduce Adam Warlock and what have you. But you still got to think, and y'all mentioned this, there are still some bad Skrulls. And the Kree and the Skrulls are still fighting each other in this war. So it's like just because Thanos did what he did, that the Kree Skrull war is still going on.
Yeah.
Is it? It's like 30 years later.
Is it still? I think it is because they kind of mentioned it in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah,
I think.
it's
okay.
It doesn't end in the comic books. Like it continues. It's kind of like Iraq and Israel. Like it's ongoing.
All right. So, interesting you mentioned Adam Warlock because I did see a thing we didn't mention in the news that people kind of want Zac Efron to be Adam Warlock.
Okay.
I don't know who Adam Warlock is.
I don't either. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. I really do not pay attention to any of the heroes or villains that take place in outer space.
Oh,
it has never had an appeal to me.
I'm going to have you guys look that up because I don't have time to explain it to you.
Okay.
He's really strong.
Okay.
Stronger than Captain Marvel. Anyway, I do know that.
Yeah, he is stronger than Captain Marvel.
So is Zac Efron a good fit?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can see Zac Efron being Adam Warlock. I kind of don't want him to be because I want him to be Cyclops. I think he's a better fit for Cyclops.
He's so pretty.
Cyclops is a pretty boy.
I was like, Cyclops not supposed to be pretty?
I don't
Cyclops
think so.
is.
I think
Cyclops is a pretty boy. That's why Wolverine can't stand him.
Oh, really? I feel like I would need Cyclops to be boring looking.
No.
Oh. Okay. I don't know who you get for that. There's no Hollywood person that looks normal.
Any Hollywood actors out there that feel like they're boring looking, try out for Cyclops. for the next X-Men movie 7 years from now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while before we get those, unfortunately.
Okay.
So, okay, I guess that fit. But yeah, Secret Invasion. I like that. Any other storylines?
No. The only other thing I was thinking of is characters I really want to see show up, and it's I really want to see. And I know some of them have been done before, but Rogue, but done right.
I do want to see Rogue, especially since we have Captain Marvel now.
Agreed.
I want to see a Rogue story arc.
Yes, I like that. Yep,
where she takes Captain Marvel's powers.
Yep. Yeah, so it's Rogue, and I don't know why, but I also really want to see Silver Surfer.
Yo, yeah, do it right.
Yes, and so I feel to me, Silver Surfer seems like something that Marvel would definitely do.
What if they got The Rock for Silver Surfer?
No.
That is no.
I don't know what your obsession with The Rock is.
Put The Rock in this universe.
Darren has a man crush on The Rock.
Seriously.
It's Dwayne Johnson, man.
It's getting kind of weird.
So that was
whatever, man.
So that was the only thing. It's I only know one storyline that I would like to see, and then I just thought I would love to see the Rogue or the Silver Surfer or Gambit, because Gambit was my boy in the animated series. Mm-hmm. So I would like to see them done correctly in the MCU.
I feel I know they're saying they're waiting on X-Men movies, but I feel you could do, since Gambit's story starts before the X-Men.
Oh yeah.
I feel you could do a Gambit solo movie before we get the X-Men. We can do Storm. Yep. We can do Rogue.
Yep, you can.
Before we get the X-Men.
Yeah, and the X-Men could be how the Avengers was, that compilation of all these people getting together.
Yeah.
Because they have so much story beforehand. Yeah. Everything Gambit did when he was in Louisiana and with that gang of thieves and all of that.
We found out how he got that sock mask thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or I'm even how he got his trench coat. It's just
Yeah.
Y'all silly.
No, it's silly.
What is up with his mask? What is that?
You keep the ears warm and your under chin warm.
Your under chin.
It's a turtleneck that you wear up your face.
Oh, and he just cut a hole out for his face.
Yeah. So that is what I'm looking forward to, and I hope.
You know what's a good theory about with the mutants? And I just thought about this. You have Professor X that basically he can control, what people sees and stuff like that. They can go about and say Professor X has been hiding mutants this whole time, so humans won't feel a type of way about them. Because what's Professor X's main thing? Humans are not ready to accept us as mutants.
Yeah, or the mutants could have just been hiding this whole time, and then after all the craziness with Thanos, they're if aliens are here, we might as well come out of hiding.
Yeah, I've heard that theory. I'm kind of on the fence on it because, that means Professor X has to be constantly, either wiping people's minds or whatever about mutants.
I wouldn't put it past him.
It's Professor X. Really?
Yeah, I know. All right, and so... It just seems, I don't know, it seems too simple.
Yeah.
Well, when it gets too difficult, then that's when you get all the...
Yeah, the simple answers are the best answers. A lot of people were saying that since they mentioned the snaps created a lot of energy, that maybe that
created mutants.
That's a good way to go.
Or it just unlocked it, and it kind of makes sense because you already introduced Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. And since they have powers, and it was unlocked by one of the Infinity Stones, you could say that all these people already had the potential to be mutants.
Right. And their power was unlocked by the snap?
Yeah, because the Infinity Stones unlocked it, which was the same thing that happened.
You can say, you're right, you can say it caused the X gene, or that's what the scientists were studying the whole time. Hydra, since they use them for everything. That's what the Hydra scientists were studying this whole time.
Yeah, so it's different ways they can go about it, but we'll see what they do. Derek, what comic book storylines did you think the MCU should do?
I was definitely thinking about with Galactus, going with the Galactus route, because I would like to see Silver Surfer. and I'm like, you can't have Silver Surfer without Galactus. And I would think that like he's powerful enough and can be in the background, throughout the different phases before he comes out into the fore. I think that would be a good route to go.
Oh man, you can have an end credit scene where it's just like some aliens living on a planet,
and he just comes in,
and all of a sudden it starts.
Kind of like Star Wars with the Death Star.
Planet. Yeah.
What
do you mean?
Did the Death Star kill people? I thought they never finished it.
I mean, it blew up planets. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the route I was going. I wasn't talking about like they building the ship or something.
Except for in this movie, he won't be a giant cloud.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. The Avengers versus X-Men, like that leading up to, and I mean, I know like the main course of that is Phoenix, but they don't have to go that route.
No,
they don't have to go that route with
you have to.
But
you have to build up to that pretty strong, though, because you have to establish both the X-Men plus whatever new Avengers team you have.
I do feel like they are going to do an Avengers versus X-Men, but it's going to be a while down the road. Like you said, it's probably going to... We're going to have like two different universes at this point. Mm-hmm. You're going to have these X-Men solo movies, and then we're going to have their team up while you have your Avengers solo movies and their team up. Mm-hmm. And then... as it goes down, then you have
and then you got to think of like there are some X-Men that were also part of the Avengers as well.
Yeah, well, they'll get those crossovers.
Yeah.
But because even in the comics, they kind of seem like two separate worlds, really. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we're kind of going to get that. You may get references and posters or something of Tony Stark, in like an X-Men movie, but I feel like for the most part they'll be separate until we get like a big crossover.
I agree. That's what I feel like, which is perfectly fine, and I think is like a great way to do it. Is you don't need to integrate the X-Men with the Avengers characters, like stay separate all the way through. I feel like that is a great way to do it.
Yeah. Some of the storylines I was thinking of, I don't know why, but this week it just came to mind. They had a Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe,
of course,
comic storyline. I actually think this would be a good way to do Deadpool 3.
Okay.
Because they're not. I don't think they're going to do X-Force.
Okay.
Like they were planning on doing it, because that whole thing is mixed up with this universe now. So you can even have, because it's Deadpool, you can have it be like it's a dream that he's having or whatever, or something where he realizes he's in the Disney universe now, and so he goes on a Marvel universe killing spree. Okay. Like it's because that's Deadpool, and it fits so much, and I think it would be a funny way to kind of introduce him into this universe, because
I like that.
Why not? You know, I mean, of course, it have to be undone, but.
Well, it definitely sounds interesting enough. But then if it's just like a one-off movie, then it doesn't really have to be connected.
Yeah.
It could just be a movie.
Yeah. So I think that would be funny. And that sounds like something that Ryan Reynolds would be like down for doing, and it's kind of like a satire because he'll be making fun of the Marvel Universe while also being a part of it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems perfect for these movies, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to see that adapted.
Of course.
I think it would be funny. That and then House of M. Now I heard some directors mention they wanted to kind of do House of M.
I kind of want to see that
I
too.
think that would be excellent.
I thought, doesn't a House of M destroy everything?
She kills all mutants at the end.
Right, and then it somehow gets reset.
Yeah, when it gets reset, no one is a mutant. There's no... Yeah, so like... so it was like, if you were a mutant, you no longer have your powers.
So do they do House of M and give people powers?
Someone mentioned that. They said they could do that, give people powers, because she did House of M. That's a way you could do it.
Yeah.
Either way, I mean, Wanda's a little cray-cray anyway, even in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
But she's not as crazy as she is in a comic book. They'll have to make her 10 times crazier in these movies, right?
I feel like she can get there.
Maybe she will now that Vision's gone.
Yeah. We'll see how WandaVision ends.
Yeah.
Such a stupid name. So I think House of M will be interesting, especially with the way they described her powers. Maybe she doesn't make a new reality, but she can kind of maybe put everyone, kind of like the Matrix, into a false reality in their mind.
Okay.
Because you know how, she, in Age of Ultron, Wanda used her powers and people kind of saw lifelike visions.
Mm-hmm.
So if she goes crazy, whatever, and it affects the whole world, it could be I'm only using Matrix because that's the only thing that comes to mind where you're in a world without really being in it.
Like the framework in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Like the framework, yeah.
Okay.
So they could do something like that, and that would be House of M. And then that's a way you can kind of do a movie what-if series without it really affecting your universe, too.
That's true.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I think that would be pretty cool. So I kind of want to see... I want to see more of Wanda because she's an interesting character.
Yeah.
I want to see what they do with her.
Yeah.
Now that she should be now that the old Avengers are done, she should be kind of brought to the front more.
I think she should. I think she should have been brought to the front a lot sooner. But I hope they do a lot more with her.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking of.
Interesting. You chose some different ones, which is cool. It's good to have some different things in there.
Yeah. Yeah, because, everyone's saying Avengers versus X-Men or whatever.
Right.
I thought House of M would be pretty good to kind of
right.
put out the Civil War 2.
I thought that was stupid, though.
Well, the first Civil War was stupid. Let's be real.
Okay, all right. Now, in House of M, I'm trying to, I think I've seen this comic book cover. Do her and Vision got, some purple kids?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She has kids with Vision in House of M.
And they're the only ones
the
that have him.
She created.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, how does that work?
And
okay.
they're the only ones that have powers too. Only the people who are part of the House of M, which is basically Magneto's family.
Yeah. Now, do you have to introduce Magneto in order to do this, or do you go a different route?
I don't know the storyline. Do you have to introduce?
Otherwise, House of M doesn't really make sense.
Is Magneto a huge part of it?
Yeah, because basically...
Is that what the M stands for?
Yeah, because basically it's
okay.
Magneto's family.
I didn't know that.
That's why it's called House of M.
Mm-hmm.
House of Magnus.
Yeah.
How was I going to know that?
Because she's Magneto's daughter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and so basically all his children is there. So Polaris, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver.
I would like to see Polaris in this universe. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, it would. So they would have to. That's another one. They would have to build up a little bit before they.
True.
Oh, that would be cool if they do Polaris's powers like they did in the TV show, Gifted TV show.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of fits because she kind of do similar things that Wanda does. Except for, obviously she's controlling magnetism.
Right.
But the powers look similar.
Yeah.
Like hers was just green.
Yeah.
I like that. I think they should do something similar.
Now, I kind of wish, and I know he's dead, but I feel like we need Quicksilver.
Yeah, I don't know why they killed him. I don't know why they killed him. They shouldn't have killed him.
I didn't like him.
Yeah, but I feel like we needed Quicksilver.
But it makes sense with the House of M. She could bring him back. It's a reality altering thing anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see where they go. I feel like they're going to do it more with Wanda.
Yeah.
What was I thinking? Oh, what if they did Onslaught?
Is that the Sentinel thing?
Yeah, it is. Professor X and Magneto kind of joined together.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I feel like there was a huge storyline in an animated series about that, right?
Yeah, it was one of the overarching stories. Like I remember I was reading Spider-Man, and it was in part of his Clone Saga.
Okay.
And at the end of it, he was going to help people with Onslaught. So like all the heroes kind of joined together for the storyline. Yeah.
It sounds interesting.
That could be another phase, like a whole phase would be the Onslaught story arc.
Yeah. Because how do you defeat
that's another one? Is like
Professor X and Magneto combined?
Well, that's
the point.
To figure out. Yeah.
Well, in the comic book,
that's another one.
They got Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman's son Franklin from the future to beat him.
What?
Because
Franklin can do anything. Please don't introduce Franklin in this.
Because he's overly powered and.
Yeah, he's way OP. He can do whatever he wants. I don't know.
How could he be that powerful when their power sucks?
I do not know.
He's a mutant, though.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a mutant.
Yeah, so Reed and Sue Richards aren't mutants, but
because they have powers.
Okay.
Well, no, he is a mutant.
He's a mutant. That doesn't make. Yeah, that's two different things.
So he ended up with the X gene. That's crazy.
Yeah, just like Submariner is a mutant.
Right.
So yeah, it's that. I think that would be interesting. That's another villain. I don't think anyone mentioned that either.
No.
Like you get Galactus a lot. And who else? What was the other big guy out in space? Somebody else people were talking about.
Not Ronan.
Kang, the Conqueror.
Yeah.
The time traveling guy, which I think they'll do that too. But Onslaught would be an interesting one.
I think that's a good way to go because not a lot of people know about him. So I think that would be a very interesting thing. I feel like that's another one though you got to build up to.
Yeah.
I mean, like really establish this universe before you can even do them.
Yeah, but they could go that route because you got to think Thanos, this Infinity Saga took 3 phases, right? So,
okay. Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be one phase and done.
That's a good point.
So yeah, that could be a route that they go. Yeah. You never know,
dude.
Be interesting.
Yeah, he is ridiculously overly powered.
Who, Franklin Richards?
He has matter and energy relation, energy projection, telekinesis, telepath. What is that? Astral projection. Precognition. Yeah, he can see the future. Teleport, immortality, and he has pocket universe creation.
You gave him all the powers.
Yeah. And in the Onslaught storyline, Onslaught kidnaps Franklin because he's a kid then at this time to use his abilities to reshape reality.
Okay, don't do that.
Yeah. Well, I feel like they'll go.
Yeah, they'll go a different route. Yeah.
Well, guys, if you want to let us know what stories you think Marvel should do, let us know on our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/3D Rivals. Drop a comment and tell us what storylines you really like from the comics that you would like to see adapted to the silver screen. At that, it's going to be our famous segment, What You Doing? So, Devora, first of all, I never mentioned this, but, growing up, I really hated your name. It's really weird.
It's unique.
Yeah.
But you know what? I've learned to love it.
Yes, of course. But Devora, what are you doing?
Well, the first thing I want to do is to give a brief shout out to the series finale of The Big Bang Theory.
All right, yeah.
I'm not going to spoil anything, so I can't say too much about the episode if you haven't seen it because it'd be super spoilery. But it's like
spoil everything,
Amy and Sheldon.
But okay.
Oh, are you going to talk about that? Because then I won't talk about it.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Amy and Sheldon won a Nobel Peace Prize.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it was like that, and kind of everyone had like a nice little ending. I don't know how Raj ended, but that might have happened in other episodes I didn't see.
Oh, okay.
But it was like the main episode was them going off to Sweden to watch Sheldon accept his Nobel Peace Prize, and Amy got a makeover, so she's not dressing so frumpy looking. Mm-hmm. And you know how it goes. Sheldon is selfish. Everyone hates him. But then at the end, he gives a really nice speech about how much his friends mean to him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Wow.
Yeah, and they fixed the elevator.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
god! Of course.
Yeah, they fixed the elevator. But I do want to say, like, I thought it was a good ending for the show. I thought the episode was funny, and so yeah, it was a good run for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought so too.
Yeah. Other thing I'm doing. City Skylines finally went on sale. Bought it for $7.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I like it. Only thing I kind of missed, and I feel like I was the only one from SimCity who liked it, was, you know, like, the buildings you have, and, like, you can snap on extras. So if you need to expand your police force, snap on a garage or add a bell or something, or add a... So I kind of missed that.
That was a really good part of SimCity. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because that way, you know, I don't need 10 police stations.
Yeah. But that was really good. I wish City Skylines had, like, a multiplayer thing.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll put that up.
I think they will
soon.
eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I like it. I feel like I like everything better than it's the snapping buildings things that I really, really miss.
All right, then. Derek, what you doing?
I watched the season finale to 911. Thought that was pretty good. Ending to it. Spoiler. It was basically about a serial bomber that wanted revenge against first responders. So it was dropping bombs off in front of people's houses. But this is what I don't understand, the people that do this. And I mean, you know, you learn this from Criminal Minds, and even in real life. It's like they do a test run on random people first. So it's just like random innocent people just get killed and hurt. And then it's just like, all right, yeah, it works. And then they go after the people that they really want to kill.
He didn't do a test run. Everyone he did was the people he wanted.
The old man and the old lady that had the answer.
That was like one of the DAs or something, I believe. Wasn't it?
No, I don't think so. Unless I missed that part. Yeah, because that's what I was talking about. I thought like the old...
Oh, I think it might have been the insurance people.
Okay.
It was one of those, I thought.
Okay. Yeah, so I thought that was cool. And then, you know, Bobby and Athena, they got married at the end. So, it wasn't like as much of a big of a season finale as I thought it would have been for, you know, a season finale, but it wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
But they are doing a spin-off, 911.
I was going to mention that.
Called 911 Lone Star.
A different city?
And it's starring Rob Lowe.
Yeah, they in Texas. So,
Rob Lowe.
I know. Yep. I was like, well, now I got to watch it. So now I wonder, because they mentioned that guy, what's his name, Eddie?
Yeah.
Was from Texas. Do you think he's going to be a 911
I think he will.
I
think so. Because usually when it's a spin-off, one of the characters from the original show goes on to the other show. Or on it, like off and on.
Fox.
You know.
All right, because this just reminds me of CSI. You know how to come up with all the CSI spin-offs.
CSI, New York, Miami, Cyber.
Your wife watched the show.
I know. It's a good show. Don't get me wrong. It's a good show. I just never watched it regularly.
Oh yeah, no, it's very entertaining. And I'm not sure if it's good television, but it is.
It's very entertaining.
It is very enjoyable.
Yeah. And I mean, I have got on 911 pretty late. Like, I didn't even start watching it until this year, and I went back and watched season 1. So,
when I have some free time, I might go and do a binge watch of it or something.
Yeah,
you should.
I might show up on the Disney streaming service.
I was about to say it's on Hulu with all the episodes.
Oh, it has all the episodes.
Yeah, they didn't take no episodes.
Okay, all right.
Because I know how Hulu is sometimes.
Yeah, Hulu is like, well, you got episodes 6 through 8. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. So what am I doing this week? Well, I was telling Devora earlier that I stumbled across this game called Hearts of Iron 4, which there were 3 more of these before.
What were the first game?
But it's like a simulation game, and it's like alternate history. So it's like World War II, and you get to play as different countries, or just change a few things to see how different things may have turned out if, maybe Germany wasn't a united country, or if the United States were 50 different countries, stuff like that. Or if the United States was a fascist country. So it's interesting to me because I like history and I like seeing how, different things could have turned out,
There's a show on Amazon, The Man in the High Tower.
Uh-huh.
And it's about, like, what if the Nazis would have won?
Yeah, I heard about that.
So, now that you mention it, I kind of want to see, what they're taking on. What happens if we lost the war?
Yeah. What would the world be like?
Messed up.
Yeah.
Messed up, yes.
Yeah.
We definitely wouldn't be around, probably.
No, we wouldn't.
No, definitely not.
Or enslaved somewhere. I don't know. So yeah, I like stuff like that. So I've been I haven't bought the game, so I've been kind of just watching some people play it online, and it's been interesting. So.
How do you find something like this? What's it called? The Iron Maiden?
Hearts of Iron.
Oh,
Hearts of Iron 4, because apparently there are three other games.
There's 3 of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think YouTube suggested it to me because I watched a couple of videos, it's like this guy that does videos on alternate history, like what if America entered World War I earlier than they did? What would have happened? Mm-hmm. And apparently, there probably wouldn't have been a World War II because Russia wouldn't have lost, and then there wouldn't have been a Soviet Russia, and Germany would have been better off. So, America entering a war late probably caused a lot of other things to happen.
Okay.
Which means Korea wouldn't have been split into 2 countries. But badly, they probably would still be controlled by Japan.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not all good. So yeah. So I was doing stuff like that, which is why I think it suggested it to me.
Okay. I don't have my YouTube history on. It suggests nothing.
Oh. Well, that's cool. Well, that's what we're doing for the week. So, guys, next week we're going to be talking about Aladdin, which comes out next weekend. I'm going on vacation this week, so, I'm going to have a lot of fun.
Me too.
In Toronto, Canada. It's going to be cold.
Is it?
60 degrees Fahrenheit for those of you in the European countries.
That's cold.
Yeah, it's cold. Yeah. Well, it's not cold, but it's not hot, warm.
That's cold.
It's going to be 85 degrees in Florida.
Okay. Well, a bunch of weird stuff happens in Florida. Let's be real.
All right. You get eaten by an alligator.
No, the news always starts with a Florida man, and it's going to be something weird afterwards.
I know when they were doing that, and I put my information in, and it was like Florida man burns down house with microwave by putting it in a microwave.
That's what I'm talking about.
It in a microwave. I'm like, whoa!
He microwaved the microwave.
Yeah.
Why do you do that in his house?
I'm trying to understand.
Like, if you want to experiment with that.
I think that's the stereotype about Florida, though, right? It's like it's always something like that.
Yeah. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, make sure you check out the podcast next week. We'll be talking about Aladdin, so tune in for that. Again, if you want to reach us, you can reach us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/3drivals, or you can send us an email, which is 3drivals@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. Other than that, thank you guys for listening. I usually always say watching at that point.
You do.
I'm used to YouTube. But whatever. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll catch you next week. Peace out.